going to. And the first sequence is always the most interesting when people play so much. But, you know, pretty classic there. Dash straight into throw versus
Well,
Necalli.
I think Nigel's goal is to make this matchup as uninteresting as possible. I think it's really to sit there and win with those dash straights. He doesn't want to be in a scenario where he has to block out his mix-up because he can win in neutral pretty easily.
Yeah, absolutely. But good, pretty even on life for both players right now. And pulls out the EX uppercut immediately. Definitely a sign he's trying to set a tone.
And really nice catch on the dash with a jab into the medium punch. Docta Afrikan solidifying this and keeping him in the corner. Nigel does have V-trigger activated, but you know, with no activation, it's going to be scary to him actually to get that mix-up. Yeah, he's just pulling him out from full screen, but does catch him with the jab.
He has him in the corner, but throws him out of the corner. Can't say I really agree with that decision. Now, Docta Afrikan kind of gets to take control of the space, and he is in V-trigger, able to kind of throw out these fireballs. The interesting thing about the V-trigger fireball is actually hard for Balrog to deal with because it's so slow and active in front of him. He can't use his traditional turn punch to get
through. The turn punch will lose if you do it at the wrong timing, and if he has the fireball that close to him. Exactly.
Finding the stand roundhouse there is Docta with the conversion and getting a frame trap. In full control right now is Docta so far. We're going to have to see if Nigel can pull out the stops here.
And just building more and more of that V-trigger. He hit him with so many seismos early on that he's on pace to get that V-trigger before hitting half life. And with the life lead already, it just becomes so hard to come back. Yep, V-trigger already there.
A couple of drops here, maybe a little bit of nervous energy here from Nigel, but a miss on the punish on the overhead from Docta Afrikan. Doesn't seem like it'll matter. He does get a setup here.
And the scaling that Season 3 added on V-triggers does come into effect here. That would have killed last season. It doesn't anymore. Catches him out of the Hail Mary mix-up. Docta Afrikan takes game one.
And Docta Afrikan is calling out all the fake setups. The forward throw into the KKB spin, and then he goes for overhead, calls that out again as well. So Nigel maybe trying to be a little too cheeky for his own good in this grand final set. Does have the rounds to play with, is able to do that. Maybe he'll tighten it up a little bit
and if we're talking as a player composure standpoint, Docta Afrikan definitely has the experience and the advantage there. So Nigel's going to have to calm himself down.
Yeah.
Okay, and a nice late DP on that jump in. Docta Afrikan holding it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely standing his ground, and there's the anti-airs we're used to seeing from Nigel.
And the anti-air into the stand heavy kick so smart, catches the backdash away, and this is going to probably be a kill for Nigel.
Yes, goes back to old reliable with the overhead. He said, you know what, old man, like, you think you're gonna block all of these? I'm gonna keep trying.
All right, and he whiffs the V skill there, doesn't get any bar for it, but then catches him with a down medium punch buffer.
And we are already seeing a lot more patience here from Nigel in the neutral, not quite as aggressive with the dash punches. Docta Afrikan landing the jump in though.
Ooh, great, beautifully spaced V skills. And that's going to be the round.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Necalli in the corner does have one of the purest mix-up situations. He's so plus on his medium kick, his walk speed is decent, he has a command grab always that leads into Oki, and he has a great regular grab. I mean, everything is there.
Yeah, definitely very dangerous when he gets you in the corner, no matter in and out of V-trigger, especially in V-trigger.
Okay, the jabs trade, Nigel decides to back off and get the EX dash punch. Finally starting another round with a lead.
Yeah. He made use of that medium kick, which we saw him do to Happy Medicine earlier. Definitely pulling that out, going back to a little bit more footsie-oriented play with Balrog.
Great air-to-air and the back off into the overhead. Docta Afrikan wasn't really expecting a mix-up scenario out of neutral there. You know, you usually wait for that mix-up.
Oh, wow. The last hit kills. That was the very last pixel of V-trigger.
I love that, right? When you're playing versus Balrog, you think the V-trigger mix-up's going to come off the V-trigger cancel. It's going to come off of a block string. Nigel just did it straight out of neutral where he wasn't prepared for it whatsoever. He was waiting to block a dash straight, and when the overhead came instead, he wasn't ready for it.
Yeah. Definitely great spacing and use of that tool.
Okay, and the anti-air just whiffs, which puts Docta Afrikan in a situation where he gets the first hit.
That was very interesting the way that that whiffed in front of his face, and now he's got full momentum, taking Nigel to the corner. Such a difficult situation.
Oh, and the DP this time gets full punished with the optimal punish. Now that we've nerfed crush counter scaling, jump-in punishes do more damage on a DP, and Nigel, being the guy that he is, was ready for it.
Yeah, traditionally, you would have seen in previous iterations, you would have heard the glass break, right? Stone Cold's coming out. We do the crush counter. But now, if there's a DP that you can neutral jump on block, you always want to do that. Yeah. That's always your optimal punish.
And you know, that optimal punish helped him take the round a lot faster there. You know, made it so that he only needed, you know, 2 mix-ups instead of 3.
Oh, but the command grabs have been on point from Docta Afrikan so far.
With punish as a stand, heavy punch there though, bringing the life totals back around even. Docta Afrikan landing a jump in stun is real close.
Yep, looking for his sequence.
And look at that bar in the top left, it's staying right there.
Oh, okay. But Nigel finds a way to get out of that situation. Activation from Docta Afrikan. And like we said, so many active frames on that fireball, he's not able to get through it.
Oh, and the jab whiff's just trying to catch anything, get caught by the medium punch into the V-trigger. And now we're in a 1 mix-up kill situation for Nigel. And it's the overhead again. Wow, and whipping those jabs was supposed to be so safe, but Nigel picked his spots like a surgeon and took the game.
That medium kick has been paying off for him. It's almost comical that in that scenario, so Necalli's got super. That's one of the few instances in Street Fighter where you can chip kill somebody. But Nigel says, you know what, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it, but you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to overhead you again.
Exactly, and those overheads have been hitting just every time in these last couple games, and Nigel's been taking advantage of it and getting those comebacks he needs.
Yeah. No, definitely playing with the swagger. That hat is not on backwards for, you know, no reason.
Oh, are we going to see the mirror come out?
All right, time to show him. Time to show him whose overhead is bigger. Let's do it, buddy.
And Docta Afrikan thinking hard about this. This is, you know, tournament point at this point. Picks Karen, very interesting. We haven't seen this character out of Docta in a while. This matchup is one that Karen, yet again, you know, similar story, does have a good time in neutral, but once Balrog gets in, it's going to be tough, man.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Karen on the big screen. I really haven't seen her play her a lot. She does have a lot of advantage in this matchup with her buttons. It's one of those things you're going to have to be ready with those punishes. Oh, a great counter to confirm off the bat. Definitely showing familiarity with Karen immediately. I like to see that.
And no punish there on sweep at max range. Balrog with a few characters who can.
Oh, definitely ready for the cancel into the Orochi. But good whiff punishes here from Docta Afrikan and confirms.
And a trade there heavily favored for Docta.
Yeah, and this is a situation where Karen Kentucky really shines. Great frame traps and excellent pressure in the corner.
Overhead finally blocked at this point, and he needed that because that would have killed.
Yeah, and the stand medium punch is a great reaction right there after those dash straights in V-trigger, because generally your other buttons would whiff, but Nigel having
Well, the great reaction didn't matter at this point. Nigel is here on tournament point at OpTic Arena, making so much use of this V-trigger, making every overhead hit, and the ones that don't, he goes into a mix-up instead.
Yeah.
And starting the round with a throw a really good way. That being said, Docta Afrikan is fully loaded with super and almost at the V-trigger already.
Oh, and messes up the confirm into Tanko and gets punished for his troubles.
Left in the corner, the DP hits.
And that's a tournament-saving DP right there. You have to pull out all the stops here.
Yeah, it backs off. You know, Balrog's so good at catching that back turn. Ooh. One more mix-up will be the tournament for Nigel. What's it going to be? And he's just leaving him in the corner at this point. He knows the end. It's the whip punish for the win. Nigel takes OpTic Arena. And with K-Brad, with Tachikawa, with Rob TV in attendance, Dallas defends home.
Dallas defended the home court beautifully. And signature win right here for Nigel. Obviously, we know him having been a Austinite originally. We've seen him come up from, you know,
5 foot tall Viper player.
Just knee high to a grasshopper, showing up to the local, playing, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, to hitting his Grandmaster ranks online, to winning our locals, to coming to Dallas and training with these amazing players and beating them. He has come so far in such a short amount of time, and the sky's the limit for this young man.
Yeah, well, the sky's the limit, and the money's the limit right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's paying for the ride home, right?
No,
just won a cool amount of money with this $5,000 pop bonus, generously donated, you know, here for this tournament.